Namaste, angels. This is going to be our full Libra Supermoon reading, beginning for the period of March 20th and going through April 4th, the day before the new moon in Aries. So covering about 2 weeks, although of course the real energy of this moon is expected to probably last around 6 months when coupled with the eclipse that we just had a couple weeks ago and the spring equinox, and probably take us all the way through to September 21st. But again, we're going to focus on right now and this period. So first I'm just going to tell you what else will be going on in the meantime. And so what also occurred today at 5:58 p.m., the sun entered Aries. So tomorrow, the 21st, is the first official day of the Aries zodiac sign. Happy birthday to any Arians listening, watching. On March 24th at 4:05 p.m., Jupiter will be quincux the true node, which is currently Cancer. March 26th at 3:43 p.m., Venus enters Pisces. That should be super interesting as it relates to love and all things awesome, because of course Venus is the planet of love and abundance, and Pisces is the sign ruled by the planet of higher love and like unconditional love. So we should get pretty deep on March 26th and probably for around a month while Venus is there. March 28th at 9:59 a.m. hallelujah, Mercury goes direct. Isn't that exciting? March 31st at 2:12 a.m. Mars enters Gemini. And April 4th at 3:18 p.m. Pluto will be in opposition to the true node, which again is currently Cancer. On that note, I'm going to go to www.almanac.com to see what they have to say about the full moon, as I always do. So this is the full worm moon is what it's called. In 2019, the full moon of March rises on the same day as the vernal equinox, marking the start of spring. How fitting for what we call the full worm moon. March also brings the final supermoon of 2019. So this is the last one. The March full moon is particularly special because it reaches its peak on the same day as the spring equinox on March 20th in 2019. The last time the full moon and the spring equinox coincided this closely, 4 hours apart, was in March of the year 2000, so 19 years ago. But the last time they occurred on the same date was on March 20th in 1981. This full moon, so like 30 some odd years ago, 37. This full moon is also a supermoon, meaning, or 38. Yes, I'm sorry, 38. This full moon is also a supermoon, meaning the moon will be nearly at its closest to Earth for the month of March. It's the year's third and final of 3 straight supermoons. This means that the moon may appear bigger and brighter than normal, provided that the night sky is clear and dark. Did you know Easter Sunday in Western Christian Church is celebrated on the first Sunday after the full moon that occurs on or just after the vernal equinox? Since the full moon and the vernal equinox both fall on March 20th, this year, in North America at least, you might expect that Easter Sunday would be on the following Sunday, March 24th. However, for simplicity's sake, the church set a fixed date for the equinox, March 21st. Additionally, the church does not rely on the date of the astronomical full moon, but rather the ecclesiastical full moon, which occurs on the 14th day of the ecclesiastical lunar month. The date of the ecclesiastical full moon may fall 1 or 2 days before the astronomical full moon. Therefore, because the full moon after March 21st doesn't occur again until April 19th this year, there'll be another full moon in Libra, by the way. So 2 full moons in Libra back to back during the same period while the sun is in Aries. To me, that's super interesting. But because of that, Easter Sunday in 2019 falls on Sunday, April 21st. This is not the first time the church's set equinox and astronomy's moving equinox affected Easter's date. It last happened in 1981. So again, 38 years ago. And it will happen again in 2038. So 38 years from now. All dates and times are Eastern time when it comes to these moon phases. So that's what it's based on. But they do give you the time here for each zone. So 9:43 p.m., which was just a little while ago here, for the Eastern Daylight Time is when we have the full moon. 8:43 p.m. Central Time, 7:43 p.m. Mountain Time, 6:43 p.m. Pacific Time, and 5:43 p.m. Alaska. Lastly, 3:43 p.m. HST. I think that might be like Australia, but I'm not positive. Historically, Native American and other traditional names for the full moons were used to track the seasons. Note that each full moon name was applied to the entire lunar month in which it occurred. Traditionally, the month we see in March is called the moon we see in March is called the full worm moon. At this time of the year, the ground begins to soften enough for the earthworm cast to reappear, inviting robins and birds to feed, a true sign of spring. Roots start to push their way up through the soil, and Earth experiences a rebirth as it awakens from its winter slumber. There are many alternative names for the full moon in March. One name was the full sap moon, as this was the time of year when sap of sugar maples also starts to flow. An alternative name for March's full moon is the full sap moon, as this time of year, I don't know why they repeated that, I'm sorry. They have a video if you want to watch further what goes on with the moon in March. And they also tell you the best days for planting, for setting eggs, and for fishing if you visit the almanac, www.almanac.com. From me, my personal feeling very quickly is, again, particularly coupled with Venus in Pisces, is that in love, really going to the deepest depths of ourselves and closing chapters, whether that means by finally getting up the nerve to unite or reunite with somebody, or to decide once and for all that we're not going to and move on with our lives rather than keep gaping holes open. That's what Pisces is about. That's what Venus is in Pisces about. And since full moons are about closing chapters, ending so that new beginnings can start, that's what the full moon is going to be about, and particularly in Libra, which Venus rules, by the way. So it's already one of these signs that's affected by her energy of love and money and abundance in general. Libra about balancing things out, making things fair, right? Balancing the scales. So in areas where we've been overly one way or another, to our detriment. Yeah, to our detriment, because the scales are going to make things fair for whomever they've been unfair. So if we've been out of balance, and now it's going to bring things into balance to help us, to assist us, to give way for beautiful new beginnings for us. So that's what this full moon is going to be about. And I think in all areas, but again, especially love, any gaping holes in any area, closing. Other things going on simultaneously that aren't, I didn't just mention, for example, Uranus and Taurus. that's not just for the period of 2 weeks. That's for, you know, another 7 years, because you know, Uranus into Taurus last year. So we have another 7 years of that. So there'll still be a lot of paying attention to our finances, which again, Venus rules abundance, including, you know, money. And things that have to do with the earthly and our bodies, our health is very Uranus and Taurus, which Venus also rules. She rules Taurus too. So yeah. And then Mars entering Gemini during the same period. Venus rules Gemini along with Mercury. Mercury going direct. So there's a lot of activity. And I just think that, yeah, we just gonna have no choice but to handle some things once and for all. They'll be handled for us. And that'll be the end of it. All right, so what am I doing first? Butterflies. Got some nice energy here. When I begin with my fortune teller cards, I'm going to start with Mountain. So air energy, like it should be, like the Queen of Winter. Very fitting for a Libra full moon reading. With the surrender cards, we're going to begin with surrender to inner peace. That sounds very Piscean. So that makes sense around now too. Right? Inner peace, higher love, ourselves, unconditional love. You got to begin with yourself. Bountiful nature. So here comes the abundance. Again, the Venus stuff. And for this reading, I'm beginning with realizations and epiphanies. And opening to heavenly signs. Realizations and epiphanies. And self-employment. Very Uranus and Taurus. Very Venus blessing us with abundance. Realizations and epiphanies. Self-care. Again, very Piscean. Very Venus. Planet of beauty. Confidence. Everything that's awesome, really. And healing from the past. We're back and forth between the Venus and the Pisces. Self-care. Join in. I just said, if you don't do it voluntarily, it will be done for you. Join in. And one more. It is support. Because you're not alone, or you don't have to be during this time. Changing your mind. Interesting. I just want to talk about changing your mind for a second and the few things that it can mean. Leaving a relationship, so closing a chapter again, or deciding not to enter one or not to accept some sort of offer, whether it's a relationship, a job, whatever, some sort of offer, deciding not to take it. Deciding like not to go someplace, like attend an event that you were committed to in some way. Maybe you came into information that you didn't have before. In some cases, maybe there's some fear attached with what other people will think, how it will look, what society says about any given situation. You know, your ideologies and practices, something doesn't fit in, and so you're deciding to, or you had decided to go the typical way as opposed to atypical. But again, this full moon can force that to change yet again. And maybe I was guided to talk to you about that or to tell you that because of memories. So memories can, it's pretty straightforward. Has to do with things you know, can be definitely about memories. Very Six of Cups-ish, right? Things from your past, things from your childhood perhaps, coming up in your life. Remembering, you know, people who you've lost, whether because you've parted ways, or, you know, they've passed on or something. You could be having thoughts like that, especially around the time of a full moon. Remembering people who were special to you. especially around the time of full moon and all this activity in the sign of Pisces with the planet Neptune. But yeah, also something or someone from your past could be coming up. Maybe the Mercury retrograde will help, because Mercury tends to bring people back too before it's over on the 28th. Maybe somebody you haven't seen or spoken to is going to come back. This is our overall energy. I'm going to do the spread from the perspective of the universe here. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Masculine's higher self. Near future. Blocks to individual progress or coupled progress. What the feminine can do to help herself. What the masculine can. Additional advice from the universe, but you'll have to, and support. That support that showed up before, but you'll have to first affirm to these things, whatever this is yourself, in order for it to give you that full support and the outcome. The divine being or couple where you are right now, sentimental feelings. So again, I think this is attached to the memories and someone or something from your past, or a combination of those, and wanting to close out a chapter, revisit a situation in some way. Recent past, parental care. That may be in part what the sentimental feelings are about. For some of us, I've been feeling for the past couple months and talking about it, and according to some of you who unfortunately lost your parents, or had to put them into a home or something, have been on point with all of that. And so I think that's what this is referring. Living with parents, having them live with us, however you want to look at it, or having to put them in a home or find some sort of care for them, help. In some cases, we're sort of in the position of parent, even when we're taking care of our own parents. And for some of us, it's more literal. We're the parent because there's been some sort of situation with our own children. A couple of months in a row, I had something coming up with grown children or adult children, with them leaving in some way, moving, and that meaning different things for different people. So I think that's all of this card is talking about, all of that in the recent past. Masculine's higher self. Ooh, relationship dynamics. I like where your head is at, masculine. And it's really appropriate, again, with the Venus and the Pisces and all that, and the Mercury retrograde and all that stuff. Mercury retrograde also in Pisces. Today's the last day, that we're celebrating any birthdays for the sign of Pisces or anything. Near future. Emotions. Look how it's crossing sentimental feelings. And it's sort of at the root here. The emotions are here. The relationship dynamics are here. So that means something for the masculine too. Sentimental feelings and emotions. They sort of go hand in hand. Blocks to individual progress or couple progress. Moving. For some, this is physical. Again, there's a physical moving, and maybe that will create physical distance. For others, it's saying that it's been a block because there has been a lack of movement, whether that was in your own control or it was something karmic, it was Mercury retrograde, it was whatever. There was some sort of stagnation, some limbo, air of suspension or something. But what can the feminine do about that to help herself? Her focus is to be finances. Maybe she needed money to move physically. Maybe looking for an apartment, looking for a home, or the other way around, trying to sell some sort of property or something. Or, again, moving away from her parents, out of her parents' home, or her parents moving out of her home. But until they did, she couldn't move forward, right? Until that happened, until something went on with the finances to make it possible for her to say, let's get you into assisted living, mom, or something like that. there was a feeling of being stuck. There was money necessary to get the kind of place that you wanted to. Some people had to make like concessions and move somewhere. Like, this is not the ideal place that we wanted, is what I'm seeing. We had, maybe it's too small, or it's not in the right neighborhood or something. But some people had to make concessions because of money too, and then that's been, you know, a block to their individual progress, or, you know, union as well. The fact that they weren't able to like find what they wanted or felt they needed. But something's shifting there right now. Remember, the scales are being balanced. Things are being made fair, one way or the other. You know, so good, bad, or indifferent, as they say. The scales of things are being made fair, evening out the playing field. What the masculine can do to help himself with regard to this block where there was movement, he can fucking move. Take the next step now. I think this is hilarious. He can move. He can take the next step now. And, you know, for him, that may be specifically with regard to relationship dynamics. Don't just think about it, you know, like, be about it. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Further advice to the two, masculine or feminine, or both together, from the universe. But again, this is something that with which the universe wants to help you, but you will have to affirm to it yourself first in order to get that full support. Religion and spirituality. So this, I'm feeling, ties into what I was saying before, that somebody, why I stopped to talk about memories, saying that there was something, and changing your mind, something with your ideology or whatever, your belief system or society, that was preventing you from, or had prevented you before from making the choices for yourself that you really wanted to make. And so you know, like you just fell in with the crowd. You could be changing your mind from that, or wanting to, and the universe wanting to help you with that. To, you know, to break away, to be atypical, to be unique. And all of that goes along with, again, what's going on in the universe right now too. And, you know, the planetary, the celestial system, planetary system. Again, things like Uranus and Taurus, making us handle our business ourselves. Where Venus is currently located, Venus in Aquarius, you know, it's all about doing your own thing and falling in love with differences, our own personal differences, that of others, and, you know, how we're unique, how each person is unique, and appreciation for that, the beauty in that. Remember, again, Venus, the planet of beauty. So how do you achieve your personal spirituality, the way that you see it, the way that you desire it, without being concerned about what others have to say about it? That's with what the universe wants to help you. And the outcome here, decisions. You're changing your mind. Now you're going to get to make some decisions. Firm ones, one way or another. I think I want to do one more that's more focused on love and romance now, from the perspective of the masculine, beginning again with mountain and this air energy. So could be tied in specifically to Libra full moon, or perhaps have something to do with an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius as well, not just Libra. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. An angel. Your angels are guiding you and protecting you on your spiritual journey. So we just saw that's what the universe, the angels, God wants to help you. Angel. And love. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. Love. All right, on that note, I think I'm going to cut after this. Marriage. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. again, this is like a very Two of Cups sort of card. Some of us, you know, will actually be getting 3D married, or somebody close to us, you know, maybe recently got married or soon to be married during this period also. You know, again, in the 3D sense. But this is also about ascended connections. So divine unions, soulmate relationships, any kind of clandestine relationship, twin flame connections. Yep. So we gotta let some stuff die so that new stuff can come. It's coffin. Natural endings, isn't that what all about a full moon is? Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. And the overall energy is love. Again, love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. Purim, also the 21st. So on the Hebrew calendar, it's a holiday of joy that celebrates the freedom. I'm just talking about freedom, freeing your mind, freeing yourself from ideologies and whatnot. It's a holiday that celebrates the freedom from enslavement of the Jewish people, the Hebrew people. And so, yeah, we continue to celebrate that energy every year. And this year, speaking of 19 years apart, something that came up with the full moon, every 19 years on the Hebrew calendar is what's considered a leap year, and there's 2 months of Adar, and that is this month, that is this year. So we're now in Adar 2. And tomorrow is the holiday of joy, during the month of joy. So that's something else that I almost forgot. All right, the divine feminine, her like higher self to her. What's up with us right now? The masculine as it relates to the feminine, like where his head is at, specifically as it relates to us and himself. The union as a whole. So our coupling, whether together or apart, you know, physically right now, even if you never even met. I like to say to, you know, my clients, it's like being in love before you even knew you were, you know. When you meet the person, you realize it. You were in love with them all along. What the masculine would have the feminine do, surrender, contribute toward the union, what he himself is willing to during this period. What the universe would have the two do, but again, they'll have to affirm, you know, fully affirm to it themselves. They'll have to claim their own freedom and go after that and ask the universe for support. And, you know, in order for that full support to be provided. But this is with what the universe wants to help you and the outcome. Divine feminine, fire. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. So that basically they want you to let go of old, like, negative cords of attachment, anything that's keeping you tied to the past. It's kind of like a world kind of card in the tarot. So a lot of people, when the world card shows up, they feel that it's just a positive card. I mean, it is a positive card, but just a card that's like, ooh, yippee, it's the world. It's a celebration of, you know, the world as being your oyster, as they say, the world being at your feet. But I always say that for me, it's also about the universe easing you out of like old energy, an old situation, old relationship, old job, something with which we should have, or from which we should have freed ourselves a long time ago, but we didn't. So now the universe is stepping in, but not in the way of like a tower. So it's an upheaval, but not as abrupt as the Tower, so as to knock us off our feet. It's the universe helping us out, easing us out of a situation so they can ease us into a new one. And the world, I don't know what element or sign it's supposed to be attached to in the tarot, but for me it always feels like fire, you know, and I haven't attributed it to one sign or another, just the element of fire. But this card also coming through, it's like, if you've been afraid to talk to your partner, your mate, you like walk on eggshells around them, you don't want to say the wrong thing, or, you know, you feel if you do, there's going to be an outburst, there's going to be an argument, you're going to break up, you know, you don't see eye to eye or whatever. Whatever's happening, it's like consuming, you know, it's like it'll eat you up, it'll burn you up, and like spit you out. It's destructive. So if there's, it's like something could you feel like something could come to a head at any moment, you know, like it's just like it's about to boil over. It's on fire and it's about to boil over and erupt. And the universe wants to help you to free yourself of that feminine. Your higher self wants to help you to free yourself of that. And so they're saying, like, we're showing you the way, but you've got to let go of those emotions. So anything old that we've been holding on to, and I know it's easier said than done, but there are ways that we can help ourselves. Meditation, getting enough rest, eating properly, asking for forgiveness from people we've hurt, offering our forgiveness to people who've hurt us. And, you know, all of that is more for you than it is for anybody else when you release those things. Because it's you, again, it's burning up inside when you hold on to them. So it's a matter of freeing yourself. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Sun, he wants to make you feel better too. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. I think this is really beautiful to be, you know, showing up on the vernal equinox, right? The first day of spring, and during this period of rebirth. The masculine, as it relates to himself. Ooh. Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. So, of course, the sun is more fire. And this could be more the fire element showing up in the reading, but I'm also getting growth and you know, from it with these flowers and stuff. So it's like earth as well, and the snake is coming through as earth. So fire and earth signs may be specifically potentially involved here. The masculine is about the union as a whole. Moon. And it always shows up somewhere. This is funny. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. So isn't this funny? The last spread was about movement toward the union, relationship, or individual or shared progress. And that's showing up again. We're being told to move ahead. The masculine was guided to take actual steps. And this is saying, like, even if you're afraid, even if you don't know everything that's ahead, because that's what the moon represents, like things, you know, secrets, unknowns. It's about trusting yourself, your inner guidance, your gut feelings, your heart, and what you feel the universe is moving you to do. And this introduces potentially water signs to the mix. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Overall, goals. Very Ace of Pentacles kind of card. Progress is positive, and personal goals will be achieved. So this is probably, again, Venus helping us with abundance. What the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender toward the union. And it is like for her to have faith and you know, continued belief that everything's going to be okay. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, right? Happiness, joy, enthusiasm, and positivity. Major Arcana card, the Star, in the traditional tarot, also representative of communication. So some of that could be coming in, maybe particularly online. For those of you who are not even coupled or anything, you might be meeting somebody during this period, maybe online and or, you know, some sort of social media or something, and communicating that way. Or communication could pick up or restart with someone, and maybe it'll come in the form of like an email or a text or something. The Star also about our prayers being answered, our wishes being granted, things that we've attempted to manifest, they're coming in. But the masculine himself is willing to contribute, surrender toward the union right now. It's a birth. So he's ready for this period of rebirth. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility, and he's here for it. This also has an energy of like a Scorpio, ending, new beginnings, as it sits here under the moon, representative of water signs. What the universe would have the two do, but they'll have to affirm to it for, speaking of Scorpio and water signs, coffin. It's another like death kind of card again. Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. So the universe wants to help you close chapters. It's happy to help you close chapters if you commit to closing them and ask for its help. It will give you that 100% support in this area. That goes for the masculine and the feminine. Whether you know everything that's happening or understand everything that's happening or not, if you commit, have enough faith to commit to closing those chapters, it will help you. And the outcome, boom, proposal. A romantic or business opportunity is indicated. And look how this sits here at the root, and the goals and the progress and the coin crowns. Again, for some, as it relates to the romantic opportunities. So for some, this is real engagement, real wedding, real marriage. Either you yourself directly or someone close to you, you know, is entering some sort of 3D union, quite possibly. And then for others, whether you've met the partner, know the partner, or in contact, not in contact, there is marriage, energy of marriage, and connection and ascension in those areas, ascension of the relationship coming to everybody. Now, in my weekly reading, my weekly love reading, a bunch of both the masculine and feminine karmic representation showed up in the love reading, opposite one another. Like the masculine was going to have to deal with karmic energy, you know, this week, and the feminine was going to have to deal with karmic energy this week. So I decided to look into karmic energy using this animal tarot, beginning with the Queen of Winter. Experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All of your experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Winter is a Libra, like the full moon, Gemini, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And opening to the Five of Summer, focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. Queen of Winter. The Seven of Winter, some kind of energy that's trying to take something from you. The energy of joy stealing, as far as I'm concerned. This can be an actual person trying to steal something actual, something tangible, or to take your happiness in another way, your peace of mind, your comfort level, your confidence, to strip you away. It can be you doing that to yourself. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. And that came up a lot in the readings that I did for the week, this week too. Queen of Winter and the Two of Autumn. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and personal life and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. Queen of Winter. And the Moon yet again. Moon never fails me on a moon reading. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so any worry is unnecessary. Major Arcana card 18. The Moon represents the sign of Pisces in the tarot, but of course can be attached to the other water signs too. Cancer, which Earth's actual moon rules, and Scorpio. The Moon. On that note, I will cut. And speaking of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, it's the King of Summer. Warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful, a trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. Overall energy is the Ace of Autumn, so the Ace of Pentacles, just like the last spread, that gold card that had those big coins on it that felt very Ace of Pentacles-like to me. We're currently getting that now. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or a promotion, or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. Okay, so this will be representative of, you know, any given person, or, you know, in a karmic situation or relationship, or the relationship itself, the karmic relationship. And the recent past in that regard. The near future. The masculine's higher self. So like what he is really focused on or wants. Blocks to, again, their individual progress and getting out of these, completing these karmic cycles and relationships and moving on to individual or the actual couple itself. What the feminine can do to help herself and hers, the masculine can. What the universe would advise to both, but again, they're going to need to fully affirm to it themselves. And the outcome at the end of this period, for which this reading is 2 weeks, for the karmic situation. All right, the individual or the karmic couple. So, not bad. This is a nice card for them. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. The Six of Autumn is actually a positive omen as it relates to love. But it's also very much about, well, sixes in general, very much about balance and evening out the scales. So I guess that could be interpreted more than one way too, you know, as it relates to a karmic situation. This is a time of equity and evening things out. So if it's been unfair, that's going to be fixed right now. For those who are single and experiencing a different sort of karmic energy, you may be introduced to somebody in this period. You may meet somebody new. Very much about balance, though, and give the ability to give and receive. So if you don't have that symmetry between you, there's going to be a problem. Recent past. The Emperor. Uh-oh. This could be about people wanting to take back control of their lives, or they feel they've been manipulated in the recent past. We do have today, again, the sun having officially entered Aries, which is one of the signs that the Emperor represents. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role. as you have much wisdom to offer. Major Arcana card, again, 4. The Emperor represents the planet Mars and the signs of Aries and Scorpio, which it rules. And, you know, can be about you getting into the driver's seat in your own life, taking back control of your life where you had previously relinquished it to other people. Can have something to do with a father or father figure. So it can be yourself as a father, or something having to do with your own father. Again, maybe the karmic situation having to do with parents, as we saw in the first spread for some. Or at least an aspect of the karmic situation having to do with parents. Whether it's the fact that you're a parent and you don't know how to, you know, still be that and pursue your dreams, or you're dealing with something with your own parents or with your siblings, a family situation. Masculine's higher self, you know, where his head is at, where he really wants to be right now. 8 of Spring, looking for movement, looking for communication. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. Of course, the number 8, also all about karma and karmic energy, and the universe sort of evening things out based on our individual karmic banks and with what we fill them. Near future for this karmic situation. A decision coming up, and or possibility of meeting someone else or being reunited with someone else, or it could be good times for them too. We'll have to look at the rest of the spread to see exactly how this lovers plays out, but the lovers can be about the need to make a decision, and since the outcome and what it means here. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. So you may have to choose heart versus head, the logical situation versus what's in your heart, where you're at, the devil you know versus a new opportunity in love, possibly involving a Gemini. So far, again, Scorpio, Aries, Gemini. Blocks to you being where you actually belong and completing the karmic cycle, whatever that is in your life, whatever your karmic relationship or situation is. Blocks to having completed it. Got someone or some things trying to steal your joy, and maybe yourself. Could be your own low confidence and esteem that prevents you from moving and going after what you want, and from communicating. You're afraid. Maybe you will let somebody take control of your life. You let them steal that control from you. And now, again, it's time for you to take it back. In the recent past, you're just now trying to take it back. Maybe as of today, you know, that it's the recent past. It could be as of this morning. You decided, you know, the sun entered Aries and you weren't going to take the bullshit no more. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources, such as your peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing behind your back. Other people could be preventing you, you know, like putting up a barrier between you and your destiny. What the feminine can do to help herself in this situation, though, it is renewal. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes, changing your mind, so that you're on the path that's most divinely suited for you. Isn't that exactly what I just asked the universe? What could you do to get on the path to suit you, you know, suit the path, what could you do to help yourself to get on the path that's more suited for you, to get where you belong or with whom you belong? This is what you can do. Forgive what has been without judgment. Isn't that the card that the feminine got in the last spread? That fire card. I said, letting go of these things, and said, try some forgiveness, try some compassion, try letting go of this old energy. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. And look at the 3 raccoons here, and black and white. So it could be like, and there's a need to collaborate, there's a need to negotiate, there's a need to compromise, because you're seeing things in black, I'm seeing things in white. We got to try to meet somewhere in the gray, but there's a party of 3 at least something going on. So as it relates to relationships, major arcana card renewal or judgment in the tarot is all about, coming to a crossroad and deciding, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere. Sitting here next to the Lovers, again, it's going to be figuring out if this is the end of the road for a relationship or not. As it relates to abundance, in general, whether it's love, money, the material, major arcana card judgment means that you've earned some. It's on its way to you. It's due you. So you could like expect that, and that may help you with your situation. What can the masculine do to help himself out of this? Move, leave, get up and away from this bullshit. The 8 of Summer. Look at him. He's going this way. Here's the moon back here. It's another 8. This is the second 8 the masculine's got. 8's, again, all about a karmic energy. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living. So it's time to move on from where you were. Whatever that means for you. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you. Or perhaps you're moving and being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. Control. What the universe would have the 2 do, but they will have to affirm themselves. It'll help you get moving and, continuing on with your life and following through with the guidance you're receiving and doing what you're being told to do by, your intuition, by your gut, by your heart. Even if you're afraid, it will help you if you ask and you commit to moving forward despite everything else. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. And at the end of this period, what will become of the karmic situation? Ace of Winter. Ooh. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. The Ace of Winter is all about new starts after the end of something else, of a difficult situation, right? Before the Ace comes the 10 of Swords. So there was some sort of codependent, toxic, perhaps addiction-related situation prior to this Ace coming up. And with the Aces, basically the Ace of Winter is the Ace of Swords. This can be coming through with the sword to cut through any bullshit that was there, cutting through to get to the truth of a matter. If there's been lies, if there's been deceit, something going on behind your back that you didn't know about, secrets about what you were unaware. This is getting to the truth of the matter. This is victory and triumph, on an individual or couple's part. So at the end of this period, either finding out something you need to know about this karmic situation and or cutting it out of your life and, being triumphant over the fears and things that were holding you back before, like this joy stealing energy. And or starting off a new path where there may be still a few bumps in the road, but on the heels of having overcome the past difficulties. So still completing a chapter. Further advice for each archetype from this deck. And this one. This one. Also from my Angels of Abundance, beginning with Bountiful Nature. Spending time in nature helps to shift you from a high vibration and remind you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk, a hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree or garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. And clearing debts. Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and to avoid future ones as well. Bountiful nature. And visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, helpful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. I just wanted to shuffle them up a little bit in front of you. There's the advice from there. And surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis in quiet, meditative moments. Focus on the stillness within and enjoy the inner refuge. Others will fear your good vibes and your life will flow more easily. And surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you're cared for always, whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, your relationship, or you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Surrender your fear of change. I'm going to leave it there because that change has come up. This is the third time now in this reading. So masculine, your advice from or what you need to surrender during this period is surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting against it. There's that follow your heart advice. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it is exactly as it is will bring you inner peace. Feminine, we are to surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and ecstasy there. Masculine, for your abundance, focus on your priorities. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention that they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your inner priorities will help you to feel better and more confident. I just heard what I was trying to read that the last spread also, it may be particularly an air sign who is victorious at the end. Whether it's the person that's in the karmic situation that breaks away, that they're an air sign, or if you have to choose between two people and one is an air sign, the air sign is the one that wins, that's victorious. And maybe specifically a Gemini with the lovers having shown up there also. All right. Moonlighting. The moon is back yet again. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. The moon just has to keep showing up, right? Masculine, gracefully aging. This is your maturity, spiritual growth during this period for you, which we saw spirituality and religion in the first spread. Feminine, you're stronger than you know. So you can bring yourself to, again, forgiveness and accepting forgiveness and offering it even when it doesn't seem like you can. You have the energy of strength with you. Masculine, thorns. Weathering the challenges ahead will bring in new and a positive future. So endings, completing so that new things can start. Feminine, Phoenix. We were in fire before. Now we're rising from that fire, rising from the ashes, right? Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. So after that upheaval that talked about, that the fire card talked about, this is going to be replenishment for us. Masculine from the Animal Tarot, the Prince of Autumn. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. This is you moving in a very paced and methodical way. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action steps. This is the second time you've been told to take steps too. And get as much accomplished as possible. The Prince of Autumn is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, but maybe more importantly, he's the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, of all four of the Knights, is the only one said to always reach his goal. So what you're setting out to do, and isn't it funny, we also had a card called Goals tonight too. You're going to reach your goal, what you set out to do, and what you plan for will be successful. And feminine, cha-ching, we're going to end on this very fabulous note of abundance. Major Arcana card 10, the wheel. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the moon reading. Thank you for watching, sharing, subscribing, liking, being here with me tonight, joining me. And enjoy the next 2 weeks. It looks like it's going to be good. Namaste.